joined by Neil Herbert this morning from Atlantic Lithium. Neil, morning.
Oh, good morning to you.
Been an interesting week for Atlantic Lithium. You've announced here you've knocked back a couple of potential offers from your largest shareholder, Assur. These offers at a significant premium, Neil, to your current share price. Just tell us a bit more about it.
Yeah, so Assur is a mining group, very well known in Africa. They work in iron ore, manganese, chrome. They've actually been a shareholder of ours since we listed the company in 2015, sorry. So we have a very strong relationship, and they approached us and said they were actually quite interested to see whether they might be able to consolidate this into their portfolio. We had some discussions, and they made a proposal. Obviously, as you point out, a significant premium to the then share price. We reflected on it as a board, and at the end of the day decided that it was not in the interest of all shareholders because we see fundamental value being significantly higher. They did make the proposal a second time, and we said no again. So that sort of brought to an end that set of circumstances that we had with them. But obviously it's a very strong relationship that we've had for a long time, and we intend to maintain that strong relationship with them.
Well, what value, Neil, do you reckon they see within Atlantic Lithium?
So the key value here is, and this is a reflection of the wider market. So what we're starting to see in the sector, and we have in recent months, is consolidation amongst lithium companies. So it is also sorting out which of those lithium companies, so there are so many on the exchanges, actually are going to get to production and actually are low-cost producers. And obviously this is where our Ewoyaa Project in Ghana comes into its own. So Ghana being a low-risk jurisdiction, one that's a very well-known mining jurisdiction. We're very advanced with the project. So as some about your listeners will know, we got our mining license only a few weeks ago. That's our green light to take the project to production. So our next major step on that respect will be to break ground on the project, which we're looking to do next September. And we're looking to start production in the second quarter of 2025. So we're talking about 18 months from now. So very few players are out there. And one of the great things about the project is it is a low-cost production scenario, so it compares favourably to a lot of Australian operations with all-in sustaining costs of $675 a tonne. So that's a very good number. I know people have been concerned about the lithium price, but even now it's $1,700. So those are significant margins to which you can benefit from.
And you've announced in the last week or two this expanded drill program. Just briefly give us a bit of a recap on what you're looking to achieve here.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've been working quite a lot on infill drilling. So actually the conversion from resource to reserve, so adding effectively to the mine plan has been going on. But we're now also beginning to do exploration drilling again. So exploration drilling, we're hoping to increase the resource again and look to consolidate that into a new resource statement in the second quarter of next year. So we see the potential for growth in the project to be very significant. We've actually worked on only a very small corner of our license area, and we're actually starting to get new licenses as well from the government, which we made applications for in the past, one of which we got this week, which is also a very exciting property because we know it has spodumene mineralization on it. So looking forward to getting into that property and working on that.
And in terms of the pathway to production, Neil, where are we in terms of the financing?
So as it stands today, we've actually got very significant financing. We did an agreement early on with Piedmont Lithium, and they provide most of the initial financing and half of the remainder. We also have done an agreement with the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Ghana, so they're bringing to provide financing. So we're probably, sort of 70–80% there are financing. So there's a small portion to be done, but the overall capex on the project is $185 million, which in the scheme of things in mining is really not a very large amount. And with most of that already provided for, and most of the upfront financing provided for, we don't have a lot of money to raise before we actually take it to production. We have a lot of time to raise it.
So in terms of achieving maximum value for your shareholders, you reckon the best time before even potentially accommodating a potential offers, waiting until you're in production. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, we very much taken the approach that we want to take the project to production, and I believe that's the best way of adding value to the shareholders. So we've actually built up a considerable and expert team in spodumene mining. So we have a CEO, Keith Muller, who has great experience of running mines. Very few people actually have run a spodumene mine successfully, and he's one of those. So we brought him in, and he's built up a very good team to take the project to production. So we're expecting that to come along very nicely next year, and people will see the progress to it. So as I say, it's a relatively short ramp up now. We're looking at first production, as I say, in 18 months' time. And so we do kind of stand out, I think, amongst the certainly the African potential projects out there today, and in a very good jurisdiction, which is Ghana, with great infrastructure and a very stable regime.
Great to catch up, Neil. Thanks for your time.
Pleasure, Andrew. Good to talk to you.